Part 2. Okay, so we're back with lighting. We're in a different scenario. We're in the room. We're gonna just light a typical kind of, this is a hotel room-esque. It's all set up for that, or bedroom, something. We're gonna start off with minimal lighting and then move up from there. We also have a hazer just to kind of fill in some of the light and get that nice soft look throughout the whole thing. So, Silas is here again with me.
What's up, baby? So this first look, I think we're kind of starting on my end of the spectrum, which is more of a stylistic, drawn out shadow, high contrast look. I think from there we can kind of fill it out and you know, make it. And again, like, I don't think what we're doing here, we may be starting somewhere and working our way towards something, but there's never anything bad. I think it's about intention. So our intention now is to have more of a moody look, a moody scene.
Yeah, so we've got both of our actors here. We're going to do a little scene just to show some movement in the scene and how the light will change within that movement. So right now we've got this set up. I'll show you. We've got one key light and we've got one fill light. And already I know that this fill light is going to be in the way for the movement as he's crossing. So we'll figure out that. You may have someone hold it or whatever, but I'll show you what the frame looks like. Let me roll on this a little bit. Also in this, we have the key light, which is daylight, because we actually have a window here that we're kind of playing off of, and daylight would be coming through there. So that's that. Or it can be a moonlight. So we can actually make this really blue and make it moonlight, make it a night scene or a day scene, and we'll show you the differences there. And then this is kind of motivated by the practical in the shot, so it's warmer. So we're gonna have a mixed lighting here. Usually they tell you not to mix lighting, but you can do it in these kind of scenes.
Yeah, let's pop a little more haze in there, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Let me win.
Yep. Action.
So for me, aesthetically, that first take was a little overexposed. So what I'm doing is, just to kind of balance out the ambient light we have coming in from the practical, from the hair light, is tone down our key light, because we don't want our key light to look like a light that's right beside our talent. We want it to look like light that's bleeding in from outdoors. So we're going to see if the second take looks better, and if it is, then we're going to roll on and match that look.
So we turn it down maybe from like 25 to 10%.
Yeah, as low as it can go, because we have it kind of walked in really close.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do it again with less light, and we'll see how that goes.
Look over here now. Look at that. Then look back to him. And then throw him down on the bed. Throw him down on the bed. God, that was good.
That looked a lot better. The light was more authentic, I guess, to the environment that we're trying to shoot for. But now we're going to amp it up a little bit. We've got a dark corner over here. We're going to add a few more elements just to kind of change the scene. Something we can do is, we have this light mounted here, but we wanted to fill in this dark corner, as you can see on the shot. I just wanted a little more light on the background to pop him out as he sits down. And so that has a little bit more contrast to separate him. You can see where the background ends and where he starts. Kind of like what a hair light would do, but a little different. It would definitely give them a little bit more feel versus, you know, because she kind of started in the back and worked her way into the key. This right now would kind of start her on more of a more neutral light that she works her way into the key. And as you said before, that black frame in the background really kills.
This kills a lot of light. Do not get a black headboard, because it will absorb all your light and it will look moody regardless.
Now we have all the daylight in here. Okay, we brought in more lights. We just have this one that we had set up before, but it's actually pointing up to the ceiling just to fill this room with light. In most rooms, the natural light that you have on the ceilings, these guys, are disgusting. We don't like them, but you can't always get away with filling a room with light if you've only got one light. So if we're in the other room, you saw that was much bigger. If we just had the one mono light trying to fill that, it would not work. So you would have to use the overhead house lights if you just don't have enough to fill the room. So 3 lights. This one was already mounted on the wall and that's still running. We're going to turn that to a little more daylight. Got our key light. That's just kicking light everywhere to fill the room. As you can tell, I look a lot better. And one more 60 watt, just hitting the wall and pushing light back towards them on this side. So we've got them lit on both sides.
One thing that I would do differently here is because we got a lot of light bouncing everywhere. Michael's falling a little bit flat. So what I would almost do is, since we have so much light bouncing around, I want to see what damage it does if I turn that light there to give him a little bit of hair light.
Okay.
Since the room's so full. So
because he's in a dark shirt and he's sitting against a dark background. So we want to use light, if we can, to separate him from that dark background.
And let's see what that does. Does it look like
Yeah, it added a little hair light, which is cool.
And we still maintain that daylight looking going in there. So we got some sunlight coming in on him now. That looks like it's from a window. You guys are looking at each other intimately in the eyes. You're spilling your love for each other.
And we also turned off the practical in the background because,
Tell her
as
that you
Silas
can't.
was saying before, that looks like it's a night scene. If you have lights turned on the house, it looks a little more like it's a night scene versus using your window daylight. I use practicals in the background for interviews a lot. It's just a little bit of separation, a little bit of background that helps things pop, but it doesn't have to be. So I've actually got another bulb that is daylight that we can use there. So we can still have the light on, but we don't have to use a warm bulb. We can use a cool bulb, which is really nice to have these for the reasons of this, where you can change the brightness if your bulb that is already in there, maybe a little bit too bright, but also if your bulb is just not the right color. So I've got this B7C that I showed you earlier, and this thing can change color temperature. So as you can see, I put the B7C, I changed the color temperature. You can also use a little light like this that's RGB, but it also has white, and you can put that inside of this as well to do kind of the same thing instead of getting the bulb. So you've got some options there. So now that we've got that daylight light in there and brought it down a little bit, now it's a little more, sits better in the frame.
I would say that the lighting scenario that we have in camera right now is definitely on the lighter side, comedy or romance. And go.
Listen, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I got you though. I do want to point out, we're having fun here, but I do want to point out that we actually don't have any lights directly on their face. So don't think you always have to shine a light directly at your actor's face. We're just filling the room. It's bouncing off all these white walls and filling their faces with that. So there's no direct light on them, except for the hair light behind right there. We changed it up a little bit. We killed the hair light. We added a front light, and we have the room light as well. We killed the other one here. So we've only got 2 lights working and the practical in the background. And you can see
It's doing a significant, it's very directional, but it's very organic. You know, it's very natural, it seems. Like this is a window.
very cinematic.
Yep. All right, so here we go. You're going to tell her you cheated on her and
You got
go
some
for a kiss. She's gonna
Harder
push you away.
shadows.
And action.
I know I cheated. And what I did was wrong. I'm sorry.
Here we go. Here's the close. We're gonna do it. I got this. Ready? I'm gonna do it. This is the close. Join in frame. Join in frame.
Like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope, like me, you guys learned something today. Always work with other people. It's awesome. It's more fun. We were cracking up, having a great time just playing with lights today. But if you did see anything that we should fix or try or anything, leave a comment down below. We're going to keep doing these types of videos at the studio with Silas. He's not in frame, but he's right there at Sable Studios. So go check them out as well. They have a YouTube page. What's that? Let me plug that.
No, I have a YouTube page. I have a YouTube page.
Okay, Silas has a YouTube page, which is,
Silas.
I'll link that down below. And so definitely subscribe and follow along with us as we carry on with some of these fun videos. And you guys need to help us with prompts. If you've got any ideas, we're up for trying it out. So, peace. Yeah, this is the actor's perspective camera.
This is what they're seeing.
This is what they're seing.
Right here,
Light right there. And
No,
yeah,
cut.
just-
cut. Hey, do it again. Back to your one.
God, but it's also not terrible. I'm getting photographed.
You look very beautiful in this light. Like there's a bunch of soft light bouncing off of you. Did you see it in his eyes? It was sorry, you look beautiful.
Thank
Like,
you.
You look Edward.
Aw.
You should be the next Batman. Yeah.